challenge. Let's see how many churches are going to deal with this particular elephant in the room, what happened yesterday.
To save America, get your friends, get your family, get everyone you know, and vote. Vote early, vote absentee, vote on election day. I don't care how, but you have to get out and vote. And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
Let's see. Hello. This is a poem about righteous indignation. Holy outrage activated by B.L. White. In a world where shadows lie and truth is often dim, a spark of righteous anger by the sun is primed and trimmed. Holy outrage activated, a fire deep within, to challenge wrongs and injustices and heal where there's been sin. With eyes that burn with passion and hearts that pulse for right, we stand against the darkness and bring forth piercing light. For every whispered falsehood and every act of hate, holy outrage activated to correct and set things straight. Not driven by revenge, but by a love so pure, a call to stand for justice, so goodness can endure. In the temples and in the markets where greed, lies reside, holy outrage activated, with power on our side. So, when you see the righteous with flames within their gaze, know it's not merely anger, but a holy just amaze. For in the fight for virtue, where sacred meets the flawed, holy outrage activated reflects the heart of God. God bless. And now, let's geek out. Hey, ChatGPT, I got a question.
Of course. What's your question?
Okay, tell me where in the Bible it talks about righteous indignation and show me 2 examples when it was prevalent in the person.
The concept of righteous indignation in the Bible often appears in the context of God's response to sin or injustice, as well as in the actions of individuals who stand against wrongdoing. While the exact phrase righteous indignation isn't explicitly used, the idea is reflected in various scriptures. 1. Psalm 7, 1195. God is a righteous judge and a God who has indignation every day. This verse highlights God's anger is directed towards sin and injustice, emphasizing his righteous nature. 2 examples of righteous indignation in individuals. 1. Jesus in the temple. As previously mentioned, Jesus shows righteous indignation when he cleanses the temple. In John 2:14-16 NASB 95, he finds merchants and money changers in the temple and drives them out, saying, "Take these things away. Stop making my Father's house a place of business." This act is a clear demonstration of his anger towards the desecration of a holy place, reflecting his concern for reverence and holiness. 2. Nehemiah's reaction to injustice. In Nehemiah 5:6-7 NASB 95, Nehemiah exhibits righteous indignation when he learns of the exploitation of the poor by the wealthy among the Israelites. The text states, "Then I was very angry when I had heard their outcry and these words. I consulted with myself and contended with the nobles and the rulers and said to them, You are exacting usury, each from his brother. Therefore I held a great assembly against them. Nehemiah's anger leads to actions aimed at rectifying the injustice, demonstrating his commitment to fairness and justice. These examples illustrate that righteous indignation in the Bible is directed at correcting wrongs and upholding moral and ethical standards, often motivated by a desire to honor God and protect the well-being of others.
Okay, so in summation, what does that actually mean? But before you tell me, I want you to verify the information that you have given me with the documentation you have from the NASB 95 or 2000 Bible.
Righteous indignation, as reflected in the Bible, refers to anger or displeasure directed toward perceived injustices or wrongdoing, rooted in a moral or ethical standpoint. This concept is often associated with God's response to sin, or the actions of individuals reacting against violations of God's.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. I want you to go ahead and verify what you've given me. Make certain that it is accurate. Proceed.
Upon review, the information provided about righteous indignation in the Bible and the specific examples used was accurate. Here's a summary of the key points verified. 1. Righteous indignation. This concept involves a justified anger directed towards sin or injustice, stemming from a moral or ethical standpoint. The Bible illustrates this through various narratives where individuals or God himself express anger towards wrongdoing. 2. Psalm 7:11. This verse indeed describes God as a righteous judge who has indignation every day, emphasizing that God's anger is directed towards sin and injustice, consistent with his holy nature. 3. Examples of righteous indignation. Jesus in the temple, John 2:14-16. Jesus expressed righteous anger when he drove out the money changers from the temple, rebuking them for turning a place of worship into a marketplace. This action highlighted his concern for the sanctity of God's house. Nehemiah's confrontation, Nehemiah 5:6-7. Nehemiah showed righteous indignation when he confronted the nobles and officials for exploiting the poor. His anger led to corrective action, aiming to stop the injustice against the vulnerable in the community. The concept of righteous indignation in these examples aligns with biblical teachings that highlight a just and controlled anger towards wrongdoing, rather than uncontrolled personal vengeance. This type of anger seeks to uphold justice and righteousness in accordance with God's principles.
Thanks a lot for providing this output.
You're welcome, BW. If you have any more questions or need further clarification, feel free to ask. I'm here to help.